Hi players, bonjour from Paris, my name is Asaf and welcome to my channel Easy Board Games. Today we're going to have an explanatory playthrough of Fractured Sky that was published by Ivy Studio. As always, if you learned something new or if you saw something that you like, please consider subscribing to the channel or maybe even support this channel directly. Ready to see how it goes? Let the easy playthrough begin. Alright guys, so obviously I've skipped setup, but let's quickly go over everything that we can see right now. So first of all, I'm going to use this side of the board since this is going to be a playthrough of 3 players. And we can see that we have only 8 regions out of the total of 10 if we would have had 4 or 5 players. Over here we have the supply of the Starfall. And here we can see that we have the Starfall tray. Here from this deck, that is the hidden Starfall deck, after we shuffled it, we're going to draw 1 card and we're going to place it over here in the first position, since this is going to be the first round. Then we're going to draw 5 hidden objectives and we're going to place them right over here. And on the other side, after we have shuffled the public Starfall deck, we're going to draw 1 card and we're going to place 1 Starfall in that specific region. Over here we can see that the card that we have drawn is the Molten Moor. So we're going to take 1 Starfall and we're going to place it in that specific region. Now at the beginning of the game, each player is going to start with 4 resources according to their choice, but they're suggesting that if it's one of your first games, you can start with 2 wood and 2 gold, which is exactly what we have placed. Over here we can see that the blue player is going to have 3 gold since they're going to be in the 3rd position on the turn track. So we're going to have the yellow player as the first player, then the purple player, and then the blue player. So let's immediately start with the first turn of the yellow player, and they're going to place one of their airships. Now when you're placing your airship, you will attach to the bottom of it one of the 12 tokens that you can find behind that player's screen. Now you're going to have tokens numbered between 0 and 10, and we're going to have 2 tokens of 0. So the yellow player decides to take the first airship, going to attach a token under it, and they're going to place it over here in the Molten Moor. Now the first player that is placing an airship in a region, they will have some kind of a bonus, and that is to take one of the hidden Starfall cards. They're going to take it and they're going to keep it with them, hidden of course from the 2 other players. Now we can see over here that in this card we have the Sinister Spires, and that means that for sure 100% at the end of the round, in that specific region we will not have a Starfall. So again, that information is supposed to be hidden from the other players, but just for the sake of the playthrough, let's place it face up right over here next to the yellow player. Now that the yellow player has finished their turn, we're moving on to the purple player. They would like to do something that is called scouting. When you want to scout, you need to pay 2 gold. So from 2, we're going to take the marker and place it on 0. And that will allow them to take a look at this card right over here. Now, this card, again, we have drawn the Molten Moor, so that's pretty cool. We know that at the end of the round, we're going to have another Starfall right over there. Again, this information is hidden from the other players, so the purple player is going to place it back face down right over here. And then they will be able to take 1 resource that is indicated in that specific region. Now here we can see that we have 2 iron, so the purple player doesn't have too much of a choice. Of course, they don't have to do it, but it's kind of recommended. So they're going to take 1 of their markers and they're going to place it right over here. Now I'm saying that it's not mandatory because they can choose not to do it, and then they will take their marker and place it over here. So since they have decided to do it, they're going to take 1 iron. Now at a later turn, if another player is going to do the same thing, then they will be able to either again not take any resource, or they will be able to take that same resource, but they're going to place their marker over here. Moving on to the blue player, they would like to do something that is called picking. When you pick, you will need to pay 2 of any resource. So let's say that right now the blue player is going to pay 2 gold, but they would have been able to choose 2 wood or a mix of both of them. And they will take a look at the leftmost hidden objective. Since again, this is the first round, they're going to take this card right over here, and they will see what is the objective that if one of the players is going to fulfill it, they will receive another Starfall at the end of the round. This card is called Spectacular Sway, and it says that you're going to receive a Starfall if you're going to have the most true power in the Woeful Wetlands, which is this region right over here. So again, this information is hidden from the other players. They're going to place it back just like this, and they're going to take one of their markers and going to place it over here in this area. Going back to the yellow player, they will decide to build something that is called a market. Now we will need to pay the resources that are indicated right over here. In the market case, it's going to be 2 wood and 1 gold. Then they will take one of these miniatures of the market and they will place it in any available hexagon that we can see on the map. In the yellow player's case, they will decide to put it right over here. Moving again to the purple player, they're going to place one of their airships. So they're going to take one of the tokens, attach it to the bottom of the airship, and they would like to place it over here also in the Molten Moor. Now pay attention, this is now the second player that is placing an airship in this area, so they are not entitled to take one of these cards. Moving again to the blue player, they're going to place one of their airships and they're going to place it right over here. So since they are the first player to place an airship in this region, they are entitled to take one of these cards. Take a look at it, again hidden from the other players, and let's place it right over here. Moving again to the yellow player, they're going to place another airship, so they're going to attach one of the tokens and they're going to place it right over here. So again, they're entitled to take one of these cards and we're going to place it over here. Moving again to the purple player, they're going to place their second airship and they decide to place it right over here. Again, taking one of these cards and placing it right next to them. Now again to the blue player, they're going to take a token and they're going to place it right over here. So that means another card for them. And now the yellow player is going to place their last airship. So they decide to place it right over here. And since now the yellow player has placed their last airship, they need to take their marker and place it in the turn track of the next round. Now they can choose if they want to play the first, second, or third in the next round. And if they decide to play in the third position, they will going to receive 1 gold. So this is exactly what the yellow player wants to do. So they're going to take 1 more gold. Now the yellow player cannot do any more actions and basically they have passed for this round. The purple player is going to do the same, placing their last airship and they're going to place it right over here. Again, since the purple player has just placed their third airship, they will need to choose one of the places in the turn track they would like to play first in the next round. Now the blue player is going to play and they would actually like to build a market. So again, that is 2 wood and 1 gold, taking one of their miniatures and they're going to place it right over here. And since the yellow player has passed and also the purple player, the blue player is going to play again and they're going to place their last airship. Then they're going to place it right over here and they are of course entitled for this card, but to be honest, at this point, it doesn't really matter. Now that all the players have passed, and of course the blue player is going to place their marker over here, they don't have another choice, we're going to move on to the end of the round. At the end of the round, we're going to have a certain procedure, so let's start and see what we have over here. First of all, we're going to reveal the leftmost hidden objective. Again, this is going to be this card right over here. Also, we're going to reveal this hidden Starfall card. So let's turn it to the other side. And already we can place one of the Starfalls in this region. So we're going to take one from the supply and we're going to place it in this region since this is what is indicated on the card. The last thing that we need to do is to reveal all the tokens beneath all the airships. Now that we have finished with this procedure, let's start seeing who is going to gain some Starfalls and claim some other rewards. We're going to start right over here from the hidden objective. So again, the player that has the most true power in the woeful wetlands is going to receive 1 starfall. So we're going to see who is the player that is controlling this region, and they're going to receive this starfall. And we can see that we have basically a tie between the blue player and the purple player. Now in Fractured Sky, all ties are broken by the end of the round turn order. So whoever is earlier in the turn order will receive the higher reward. And since the purple player is earlier in the turn order, they're going to receive that reward. And that means they're going to take one of the starfalls from the supply and they're going to place it right over here. Unfortunately, I can see that we had a starfall over here since the beginning of the video. So that actually played quite well. So they're going to take this starfall from the supply and they're going to place it right over here. Now we're going to go region by region, starting from the left side of the map, going to the right side, and we're going to see which player is going to receive which reward. So let's start over here in the Creepy Cove, and we can see that only the blue player has a token with number 2 on it. Now, it's important that the troop power in a region will be higher than 0 in order to claim one of the rewards. We will be able to claim a reward if we have here a token with 0, only if we're going to have a fortress that is connected to this region, but this is something that we're going to see in the next round. So the highest reward that the blue player can claim, since we don't have here a starfall, is to take the 2 resources. So the blue player is going to take 1 gold and 1 iron. But also pay attention that they have a market that is attached to this region, and that means that they will be able to take 1 more of the resources that we can see over here. The blue player decides that they want to take 1 more gold. Now that we have finished with this part, let's move on to this region. And again, we have the purple player with a token that is higher than 0. So they will be able to claim the highest reward, that is 1 iron and 1 wood. And we're going to move to the next region, this one right over here. So again, we have that tie, but we already know that the purple player is going to break that tie. So the highest reward that they can claim is the 2 wood. Also, they have a market, so they will be able to take 1 more of these resources, but since it's only 2 wood, they're going to take 3 wood. So from 0, they're going to go up to 3. Then the next player is going to claim the second most valuable reward, that is only 1 of these resources. So the purple player is going to take 1 more wood, and the yellow player, which is in the 3rd place, doesn't have a reward to claim. Moving on to this region right over here, we have the blue player with a token of 3. They of course control this region, so they're going to claim the highest reward, that is 2 gold. So from 2, they're going to move on to 4. Over here, we have the yellow player that is going to claim both of these resources. So that is 1 gold and 1 wood. And also, of course, pay attention that they have a market that is attached to this region. So they will take 1 more wood. Now let's move on to the last and probably the most interesting region, that is the Molten Moor. And we can see that the yellow player has a token with 7, which is obviously higher than 3. So they were going to claim the highest reward possible. That is, of course, the 2 starfalls that we have right over here. And they're going to place it right over here on their tray. Now, again, they have a market that is attached to this region. So they will be able to choose 1 of their resources. Since both of these resources are iron, they're going to take 1 iron. The second player is going to choose the next most valuable reward, that is both of these resources. So the purple player is going to take 2 iron. From 2, they were going to have now 4. After we have finished claiming all the rewards, we're going to move on to the cleanup. So first of all, let's of course take all the tokens back to the players. Then we're going to shuffle again all the public starfall cards, and we're going to draw another one. So we can already take 1 of the starfalls and place it in the torrential tropics, which is this area right over here. Then we're going to take all the hidden starfall cards and we're going to shuffle them again. And from the newly shuffled deck, we're going to place 2 cards in the first and second position since we're about to start the second round. So, of course, this is hidden information. We're going to place it face down. The last thing that we're going to do is to take back all the tokens that we have on the Starfall tray, but pay attention that when we have a token that is over here in the objective part, we're not going to remove it back. So basically the blue player is going to have for the rest of the game 1 less token. The purple player on the other side is going to take this token and put it back in their supply. So I think that until now we've covered probably most of the game, but there are still some things that I would like to show you. So let's do quickly another round. Starting, of course, with the purple player that is in the first position on the turn track. The purple player decides that they wish to trade one of their resources, and this is something that we can do at any point of the game. This is of course a free action, so what the purple player would like to do is to trade 2 wood, so from 4 they're going to go down to 2, in order to take 1 gold. Now the first thing that they would like to do is to place one of their airships over here in the torrential tropics. So since they are the first player over there, they will be able to take this card, look at it of course hidden from the other players, and they're going to place it right next to them. Moving on to the blue player, they would like to build another market. So they're going to pay 2 wood and 1 gold, and they will place their second market right over here. Moving on to the yellow player, they will want to pick in the next objective, so they will pay 2 of any resource, and they decide to pay 1 iron and 1 gold. So they will take this objective, they will look at it hidden from the other players, and over here in this objective that is called Harvested Honey, we know that a player that has the most buildings connected to the peaceful plains is going to receive 1 starfall. So the yellow player has finished their turn, and we're moving on to the purple player. The purple player decides that they want to build a fortress. So this is something that we haven't seen before. The price is 3 iron, so from 4 they're going to go down to 1. They're going to take one of their fortress and they're going to place it right over here in this hexagon. Moving on to the blue player, they would like to take their airship, attach one of the tokens, and they're going to place it right over here. Again, since they are the first player in that region, they will take one of these cards and will place it right next to their tray. Then we have the yellow player again. They would like to place one of their airships, and they're going to place it right over here. Again, taking one of these cards, looking at it hidden from the other players, and place it next to their board. The purple player in their turn decides that they want to build a market, so it's 2 wood and 1 gold. They're going to take their market and they're going to place it right over here. The blue player would like to place again one of their airships, so they're going to place their airship, let's say right over here. Then the yellow player is going to place their second airship, and they will place it right over here. So again, taking this card and placing it over here. The purple player will place their second airship, so they would like to be over here in this region. Then the blue player would like to actually buy another market, but they don't have 2 wood, so they're going to do as a free action trade. They're going to pay 1 iron and 1 gold in order to have 1 more wood. And then they're going to pay 2 wood and 1 gold in order to build a market, and they're going to place it right over here. The yellow player would like to build now a skimmer. So for a skimmer, we need to pay 1 iron and 1 wood. Since they don't have iron, they're going to trade, so 2 gold for 1 iron. Then they're going to pay this 1 iron and 1 wood in order to take a skimmer, and they would like to place it over here. We're going to see what is that going to do a little bit later. Moving on to the purple player, they don't have so many choices, they just need to play their last airship, and they would like to place their airship over here. Again, the first player in this region, so they're going to take a card and place it over here. Now again guys, I know that it seems a little bit random and I don't pay too much attention to all the secret Starfall cards, but I just have to repeat it again. I'm not here to give you any kind of strategical advices, just to show you how the game goes. And since the purple player just played their last airship, they're going to choose again a position that they would like to play in the next round. So they don't want to have the gold bonus. They're going to go over here because they wish to be the first player in the next round. Moving on to the purple player, they're going to now place their last airship. So they're going to place it right over here in the molten moor. Again, they're going to take this card, and since this was their last airship, they're again going to choose where they would like to play. They also don't want to take this gold for some reason, so they're just going to move to the second position in the turn track. Now it's the time for the yellow player to place their last airship, and they would like to place their airship right over here. Now, of course, the yellow player has placed their last airship, so they're just going to move over here, and they're going to receive 1 gold. So again, this is the end of the round. We're going to have the same procedure. So first of all, let's reveal this hidden objective. Then we're going to reveal these 2 starfall cards, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to reveal all the tokens that we have beneath all the airships. And now again, let's see what is the hidden objective and who is going to score for it, one of the starfalls. So we again see that the player that has the most buildings connected to the peaceful plains is going to receive 1 starfall. Since this is obviously the purple player, right, because they have 2 buildings connected to the peaceful plains, they're going to receive 1 starfall. So they will take 1 from the supply and put it right over here. Now, since we have revealed these 2 cards, we just need to place starfalls in the corresponding regions. So one of them is going to be over here in the molten moor, and one of them is going to be right over here in the creepy cove. Now let's start resolving what we can see on the map from left to right. But here I want to show you something that we haven't seen in the first round. Pay attention that the purple player has placed tokens with a total value that is greater than 10. Right? We have 5, 4, and 2. Together that is 11. So basically, you can place tokens with the value up to 10, and if you have passed it, you're going to take this delta, that difference between the number that you have right now on the board and 10, in our case of the purple player that is going to be 1, and you're going to take down the value of each token by that specific value. So again, since we have here 11, we're going to take down 1 from each token. So basically that will be 4, 3, and 1. So now, with that, let's start resolving the board. Over here on the Creepy Cove, we have no one that is controlling this region, and that means that this starfall is going to stay over there for the next round. Moving on over here to the wetlands, we can see that we have the blue player that is going to control this region, right? That is the highest value of 2 against 1. So they're going to receive the highest reward possible, that is 2 wood. Pay attention that they're having here 3 markets connected to this region, and that means that they're going to take 5 woods in total. So from 0, they're going to have 5. Then the yellow player is also going to take the second most valuable reward, that is 1 wood, but also they have here a market, so they're going to take 2 wood. From 1, they're going to have 3. Moving on over here, again we have 4 against 3, right? Again, 1 less from this value, but in any case the purple player is the one that is controlling this region, so they're going to receive the resources, that is 1 iron and 1 wood. The blue player is going to take one of these resources. They decide to take 1 iron, but also they have a market attached to this region, so they can have a second resource. They decide to take another iron. So from 0, they're going to have now 2. Moving on to the peaceful plains, we again have something a little bit interesting. We have a token of 6 and a token of 2. But here we have a skimmer of the yellow player, so that means 1 plus to their true power, that means 7. And if you remember, we have here 1 actually, right? Because we took down the difference. But also we're going to have here a fortress that is going to bump by 1 the value of the true power. So basically we have here 7 against 2. Since obviously it's the yellow player who's controlling this region, they're going to take the resources, that is 1 wood and 1 gold. The purple player is just going to take one of those, so they would like to take 1 gold, but also they have a market that is connected to this region, and that means that they're going to take another resource. They would like to take 1 more wood. Moving on to the next region, right over here, we have a token of 2. That is the only player that is controlling this region, so that is 2 gold for the yellow player. Also, they have a market connected to this region, so they're going to take 1 more gold. Now pay attention, of course, that even though we have markets of another player that are connected to this region, since they don't have their any kind of presence, so they don't have their any value of troop power, they're not going to take anything from this region. Moving on right over here to this region, we're having the purple player that again has the value of 3, right? 1 less, but also with the fortress, that's 1 more. But in any case, that is the only player that is controlling this region. So they're going to take 1 gold and 1 iron, but also because they have a market that is connected, they can take 1 more resource, and they would like to take 1 more gold. And moving on to the molten moor, the last region, we can see that we have only 1 player that is controlling this region, that is the blue player. So the highest reward that they can claim is this starfall. They're going to take it and put it right over here in their tray. And also they have a market that is connected to this region. That means that they can take 1 of the resources. Since we don't have a lot of choice, the blue player is going to take 1 more iron. Now we're going to move again to the cleanup. So it's just like we've seen in the last round. We're going to shuffle again the public starfall deck. We're going to draw 1 card and already place there 1 starfall. Then we're going to shuffle all the hidden starfall cards to create again a deck. From that deck, we're going to draw now 3 cards, right? Because we're about to start our 3rd round. And then we're going to return all the different tokens to the different players. Also, the skimmer is going to go back to the yellow player, right? This is not considered to be one of the buildings that we're not removing. And also, we're going to take any one of the tokens that we would have had here. And now I'm paying attention that I don't remember already which player it was that picked in this objective. I think it was the yellow player, but I'm not so sure. But we should have had here another token, so I apologize for that. After that, we're just going to start our 3rd round, starting with the purple player. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you learned something new or saw something that you like. Take care, and I'll see you next time.